G'day guys, welcome to this Rxys V2 video. Today I'll be talking to you guys about NRL Round 15 recap for 2019 guys. So let's get started with these brilliant results, brilliant reviews, and let's get started with all of the good playing moments and bad playing moments. So let's get started guys. So this first match of the game we saw was the West Tigers taking off the Rabbitohs. So this one was an absolute great game. I thought to myself that the Rabbitohs, they absolutely played really well, extremely well. They thought to themselves, they played hard. Last week they just played like, I'm not sure, but they played obviously different. They played well, but they didn't play well enough. But in this game, they played absolute really well. This game was a 14 points to 9 scoreline, and I tipped the Rabbitohs by 8 points here, and they obviously lost. But yeah, I reckon this one was an absolute great game. But the Rabbitohs, they were struggling a bit. You got Corey Allen, which he doesn't play. He's not a great fullback. He's not a guy that suits the fullback side. But if you have a new player, I reckon this one, he should be in the fullback side. But Corey Allen, you're not in the fullback side. You are just not great at the fullback side. You should be like on the wing or on the centers, but you're not in a great fullback side. So yeah, this was why the Rabbitohs lost, because of you. But I'll tell you one thing, the Rabbitohs, they thought to themselves hard, but Adam Reynolds kicking that field goal, thought to themselves that they were going to win. But I'll tell you one thing, Michael Cheekham getting that late try for that win to make it 14 points to 9 was an absolute great offer for the Tigers for that late try. I cannot believe that. That was an absolute brilliant game at Bankwest Stadium. But usually we have the Eels playing at Bankwest Stadium, but this one was a different type of environment. This was different type of like stadium, which that means like the West Tigers will play at Bankwest Stadium sometimes, but like you got Campbelltown, you got Leichhardt Oval, you got ANZ, but I'm not too sure. I reckon Bankwest Stadium is not a suitable one for West Tigers, and definitely not a suitable one for Corey Allen to be in the fullback side for the Rabbitohs. So this one was a 14 points to 9 lead, and I tipped the Rabbitohs by 8 points here, and they thought to themselves they play well with their good energy and great heart. For the second game of this match sees the Dragons up against the Cowboys. Now this one was an absolute great game. I didn't think that the Dragons were going to hold on here, but the Cowboys, they fought to themselves really hard. But this one was a tight game because obviously the Cowboys, they were leading at halftime, and then obviously the Dragons just came and just bloody done their work. But 22 points to 14 this game was, and I definitely tipped the Dragons by 10 points here. They obviously won, and I got that one right. But yeah, this one was an absolute great win. I cannot believe the Rabbitohs, no, not the Rabbitohs, sorry I said that. The Dragons, they thought to themselves really hard, and I thought to myself, well done for them. They absolutely played really well. But obviously, the Cowboys, what can you do really? They have got a lot of injuries, but they played themselves really hard. I don't know what to think about like the Cowboys, because they were a bit shocking at that start. But then you obviously got the Dragons. They thought to themselves, absolute great game to watch, great game to see. And I just loved that game because obviously I won that tip, and I've tipped the Dragons here by 10 points. They obviously won. But yeah, Mikaele Ravalawa, he obviously scored, and he's a brilliant player. I cannot believe that he plays. Well done to him too. I've given him man of the match for that one. That one was an absolute great win to seal the deal for the Dragons here, 22 points to 14. And this game was an absolute 10 out of 10 game for me. But yeah, what can you do really? It was an absolute dominating. It was an absolute great win though. Well done to the Dragons. So this third game of this match sees the grand final rematch of that round, sees the Roosters up against the Melbourne Storm. This one was an absolute crucial match. I cannot believe that this one was an absolute great game though. Latrell Mitchell had a brilliant game for that. Suliasi Vunivalu had a great game. Josh Adokar. All these players that they're named, they're an absolute great playing side. But I tipped the Melbourne Storm here by 12 points, and I obviously got that right. But this one was a 14 points to 12 lead, and I tipped them, but they obviously got it by 2 points. I thought to myself, the Roosters were going to hold on, but the Melbourne Storm, they absolutely thought well, they play well, and they're an absolute great team. That this one's going to be a hard win for them, but I don't know what to think about the Roosters though. They are a great side. This one was a crucial match, but the Roosters, they are a great side too. I give my hats off to the Melbourne Storm though, because they absolutely played really well though. I don't know what to think. This one was an absolute great match though. Seeing the Melbourne Storm, they were quality good game. But what can you do really? This game was an absolute excellent to watch though. Yeah, like that one was a great game. Seeing that game was just an absolute great win though. I just thought to myself, is the Melbourne Storm gonna win or is the Roosters gonna win? But there in the end, the Melbourne Storm held on with the win by 2 points. They obviously got it right, and I got it right. So then that means I've got this one tipped right. So that means that yeah, I've obviously got it anyway. So yeah, this one was an absolute great win. Seeing that scoreline was an absolute tight match, and also a win. But they absolutely played really well though. Two dominant sides. Sometimes they hate each other. You obviously got Latrell Mitchell and Suliasi Vunivalu hate each other. But what can you do really? I just think that the this game was a really war win. So this one was an absolute great game though. Seeing that win, 14 points to 12. And I tipped the Melbourne Storm here by 12 points here, and they obviously got that job done. So this fourth game of this round sees the Titans up against the Manly Seagulls. Now this one was an absolute dominating game. But I tell you another thing too, Manly Seagulls, they're an absolute great team. Like Tom Trbojevic coming to that side, I was gonna think that Titans, they were going to lose, but I tell you, a lot of injuries, a lot of people getting, what's it called, lost, or no, not lost, I mean like absolute, I don't know what you call it, but it was an absolute great game. No, I thought to myself, Titans, they didn't play really well, they're just not a good side, but this one was a 30 points to 12 win. But I cannot believe that this game was an absolute great game though. Well done to the Manly Seagulls. You absolutely played really well, and I thought to myself that this game was an absolute great game though. But well done to the Manly Seagulls. But I tipped the Titans here by 6 points. They definitely got the job done. But yeah, I tell you, like, Tyrone Roberts is a great player, but not really a great player to see this game to win. But Titans, they're playing a bit poorly, and they need to improve better. But Titans, they just need to prove really well to get into that top 8 side. But I tell you, Manly Seagulls, Tom Trbojevic, absolute well done to you. But I definitely tipped the Titans here by 6 points. They obviously lost, and I obviously lost. So, yeah, this one was a great win. Huge loss, though, to the Gold Coast Titans. And yeah, what can you do really? This one was an absolute great window for the Manly Sea Eagles. So this game of this match sees the Knights up against the Broncos. Now this one was an absolute great win for the Newcastle Knights. I did tip them by 4 points. They obviously won. Okay, there was some weird looking moment after the full-time siren because a lot of fights happened in that match with Matt Gillette absolutely plumbing down the Newcastle Knights. I do not know what happened though. I just cannot believe that one was a shocking discovery. But I tell you, 26-12, absolute great scoreline. The Knights played absolutely really well. Mitchell Pearce is an absolute great player. I will probably pick him in my super coach, but it's just not. He's just not a 10 out of 10 great guy for me. But I tell you, the Newcastle Knights. I tell you, this one was an absolute great win, though. Okay, but I have to say, for the Broncos, they are absolutely struggling at the moment. For that one, Darius Boyd is not a good fullback. Every time I see him, he struggles a lot of his ability. But what can you do, really? But I reckon Anthony Milford is a suitable fullback with that line speed and great agility. But with Darius Boyd, he could be like in the centres. He's a suitable one for that one. But 26 points to 12. This one was an absolute great win though at Newcastle Stadium. But yeah, this one was an absolute great win though. What can you do, really? But yeah, I just didn't really like that game because that one was just smashing, palming it down. But then it came down to only one, which was definitely Kalen Ponga that didn't play for the Newcastle Knights. I hate to say, this one was just a average game. But for the Broncos, they need to improve better because every time I see them play, they just need to grow into more in capability of new players and new staff. But every time I see them, they just need some work. But Darius Boyd's just a bit shocking for me. He needs to retire. But I know I said that he probably is great for centre, but either that or he retires. But I don't know. This one was a shocking game, but average game to see the Newcastle Knights getting this win over Brisbane Broncos. But this one, I tipped the Knights by 4 points, and they obviously won that game. So this game of this round sees the Eels taking on the Canberra Raiders. Now this one was an absolute great win. This one was a 22 points to 16 win. I cannot believe that I tipped the Raiders by 8 points. I thought to myself that the Eels weren't going to win this game. But Mitchell Moses, you're an absolute great player to seal that try, to seal that win, and also to Blake Ferguson for getting another try, probably 2 or 1, but I'll tell you one thing, Blake Ferguson, I give my hat to you, and Mitchell Moses too, because this one was an absolute great win though. I'll tell you another thing, Mitchell Moses, you're a man of the match for me. I cannot believe that you absolutely scored the try to seal that win. But for Blake Ferguson, he is a great player, but sometimes he can be a bit injured with his legs. But yeah, I just think that one was just a great game to seal that deal. But I did tip the Raiders by 8 points, which that one was a shocking win. Shocking to see that tip. But what can you do, really? This one was an absolute great win though. Well done to the Parramatta Eels at Darwin, TIO Stadium. This one was a great win though. This one was a 10 out of 10 win. Well done to the Parramatta Eels though. Absolute great match. I hate to say though, Brad Tekarangi is not a great winger. He just needs to be dropped. I just think that Brad Tekarangi is not a great player, though. He is a good player. Sometimes I see him, he just shocks me a bit. But then, he just needs to be dropped. For George Jennings, too, he needs to be dropped. For this one, too, I reckon Bevan French needs to join back and come back. He is a world-fast player, and I think that he is a great player to seal that deal. But yeah, I just think Mitchell Moses and Blake Ferguson was an absolute highlight of that match for me, which I definitely saw. But yeah, this one was a great win though to seal that deal, and well done to the Parramatta Eels for getting that win. So the second last but not least sees the Warriors up against the Panthers. Okay, this one was an absolutely shocking win, because I definitely tipped the Warriors though by 6 points, and they obviously lost by 1 point with James Maloney kicking that field goal to seal that deal. This one was an absolute shocking win for the Panthers at Mount Smart Stadium. I definitely saw this before, but 18 points to 19. The Penrith Panthers sealed that deal, and this one was a crucial win to seal that win. I cannot believe though that James Maloney kicking that field goal to get that win was just a tragedy to, oh God, to get the Warriors up in that winning streak, but that obviously wasn't the right thing. But I definitely tipped the Warriors though by 6 points though. They definitely lost by 1 point. So this one was a great win. Great win for the Panthers, I mean. But for the Panthers, they absolutely are a great team. I definitely saw that James Maloney... Okay, I can see James Maloney being a well-done player, but sometimes for me, it just gets a bit overreacted because of the Blues side. Obviously, he gets overreacted because of the New South Wales Blues. But then, obviously, well done to the Penrith Panthers, though, for getting that win. I cannot believe it, though. Well done to the Penrith Panthers for getting that win, though. Just well done. I cannot believe that the Panthers absolutely getting that couple of tries for Jerome Luai. And yeah, that one was a great win though. Well done to the Panthers. Last but not least, sees the Bulldogs up against the Cronulla Sharks. This one was an upset round because every single time the Sharks just hammers the other people, like other teams. This one was an upset because the Bulldogs got that win, 14 points to 12, and this one was a definite upset round. So, I cannot believe that this one was an upset round for the Eels up against the Raiders, but for the Bulldogs and Sharks, William Apawade, you're an absolute great player. But for the Sharks, they did disappoint me because I definitely tipped the Sharks by 12 points because I thought to myself that the Bulldogs weren't going to win that, because every time I see the Bulldogs playing, they obviously lose. But they obviously got one. They also won by one. Because they also won the first game. But yeah, definitely a shocking game though, because I definitely thought to myself that game was an absolute great game to see the Bulldogs win. But okay, I got to tell you something too. In my next video, I will definitely brought to you something that I will definitely tell you guys about, because it is absolutely disappointing and really needs to stop. But anyway, for the Bulldogs and Sharks, I definitely tipped the Sharks by 12 points. They obviously lost, but I'm not going for the Bulldogs anymore because that one was just a shocking game to see. But yeah, what can you do really? This one was a great game though, 50-50, but I don't know what to think. But yeah, this one was just a 50-50 game. Thanks guys for watching my video, guys. Stay tuned for more, and I will be doing the round 16 predictions, and this one will be bringing it out to you tonight. But yeah, I definitely will be doing that. But okay, this is brought to my attention though. I'm just going to tell you a little story. This one needs to stop. Streaking on the field needs to stop, because every single time you streak on the field, you will definitely get banned for life. Do not streak on the field. I gotta tell you, this is an absolute disappointing and shocking thing to say, but literally, I am a bit disappointed in how the way that every single time I see someone streaking on the field, it's just so dumb and really stupid. So do not do streaking on the field and also doing that, because it's so dumb and you'll definitely get banned for life. So yeah, do not do it, because you will definitely get banned for life. And I'm just saying it to repeat myself. You guys definitely need to stop doing that, because it just needs to stop. But yeah, thanks guys for watching my video, guys. Stay tuned for more. Round 16 predictions will be up very shortly. So yeah, thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.